Hello friends, welcome to Nigira Techies. Today I am going to explain charts in Angular application using chart.js JavaScript library. So this is the free library. It will provide the wonderful visualization of chart and also it will provide different types of chart. So we can see the types one by one. The first one is bar chart, pie chart, doughnut, radar, polar area, bubble and scatter chart. So I'm going to implement all the charts one by one. So it is going to be very interesting. And for the data purpose, I'm going to consume the exact API data only. Okay. So here I listed out all the steps. We can go one by one. The first thing is we have to install this chat.js in our application. So the command is npm install chart.js. The installation gets completed. Now let me create one component. Okay, great. Our component is created. Now let me include this component into our routing side. Next, let me create one link. Let me run this application. And if you noted in these changes, so in this package.json file, you have to see this chart.js file is installed. The version is 3.9.1. Okay, look like our application also running now. Okay, initially we don't have any changes. Now let me go to our my chart component. So the first thing is we have to import our chart. The file is available in this node model, so let me include it. Slash chart.js. Here we have to import the chart and also registrables. Okay. Now the next thing is we have to register it. Okay, this is fine. Now let me go to the HTML side. So here we have something. Let me remove it. Here I am going to include one h2 tag for the title. And then we have to use one canvas element. Here we have to provide this ID. So the first one is pie chart. And the title also I'm going to change this into a pile chart. Okay. So this is fine. Now let me move on this TS side once again. Here I'm going to create one function first. Render chart. Now let me move on the official site of this chart.js. So in the Google you have to search like this chart.js for Angular. So the first one, we have done the installation related things already. Now let me copy this data, this constant into at the end. Here we have the sample data. So instead of the CTX, here we have to provide our ID. So our canvas ID is pie chart. Now let me save this one. Okay, see the output now. Okay, great. Our chart is working with some default data. Now let me explain this code. So the first thing is label. Okay, so this label is nothing but how many items. So this red, blue, yellow. So whatever it is you are seeing, it should be included in this label. And the second thing is data. Okay, so that's what we are seeing in this y direction, right? Okay, the next one is the background color. Okay, here we have provided the separate color. So that's what we are getting like this. In case if I am providing only one color, the same color is applied for everything. And you have to see this border, and this border also we have provided the separate color. That's what it's coming like this. And in case if I'm providing one color, it should be same. Okay, and other things are just options. So we are started from begin 0. That's fine. Now let me explain, instead of having this hardcode data, how to get and apply our real-time data from our API. Okay, so now I don't have any API, so let me use this JSON Server REST API. So the JSON server already installed in my machine, so let me execute the watch command. Okay, great, our JSON server is ready. Let me go to this db.json file. Here let me remove this commands and profile. So instead of this post, I'm going to make this as the sales, and here this ID is not required. Instead of that, I'm going to use this year 2015, and the amount of sales I'm going to provide 5000, and we can use this color code, that is interesting, green. The similar way I'm going to add 5 more datas, so we can adjust the values also. Okay, great, our API is ready. Let me take this URL. So in our application already we have one services. So this master.services, here I'm going to create one more function, get chart info. So this is the get method only. So let me follow the existing procedure. Okay, we have done from our service side. Let me move on this component. So in the constructor, let me inject our services first. Now let me declare some variables, and then label data. So this is a just array. The similar way I'm going to declare 2 more variables, the real data and the final one is color. Now let me go to this ng on inside. Here I'm going to use our same services, and our service method name is get chart info. Let me subscribe it, and let me assign this value into our chart data. So now our data is available in this chart data. So let me check this null condition. Then let me create the for loop. Let me include this console. So this chart data I, okay. Let me save it. Okay, great. Here we are getting these 5 objects. So let me push these values into our arrays. So the first one is label. So this dot label data dot push. So here this dot chart data and label is nothing but this year. Okay, so objects are year, amount and color code. So the similar way I'm going to push the next two values, amount and the final one is color code. So let me save it. Now what I'm going to do, let me make some changes in this function. Here I'm going to have some parameters, label data, main data, and the third one is color data. So these are the three parameters. Now let me pass everything here. So this dot label data, then this dot real data, and the final one is color. And let me move this function into our subscription side. If it is not equal to null, okay. Now in this function, instead of having these hardcode values, let me use this dynamic data. So the border we not changed and other things we are just modified. Now let me save it. See now our chart is loaded with our dynamic data. Now if I am including one more data also, it will work fine. Let me go there. So the year should be 2027. Let me refresh the screen. See now one more record is coming. Okay, it's fine. So this is all about our bar chart. Actually, the title I have provided like a pie chart. Let me change it. For this pie chart, let me add one more content here. Let me change this one into a bar chart. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, let me include one more parameter, the chart type, and then we have one more parameter that is the ID. Okay. So first I'm going to provide the type is bar and the ID is bar chart. Now let me copy the same thing once again. So instead of this bar, I'm going to provide a pie chart and this ID also just a pie chart. Okay. So instead of this hardcode value, let me change into our dynamic value and here this type also. Now let me save it. So in this first section, you have to see this bar chart and the second one is the pie chart. So the similar way we have to implement our other charts also. The next one is doughnut chart. Let me copy this content. So it is just like a reusable thing. Okay. This type is very important. So instead of this pie chart, let me make do chart. Now let me copy this one. So the first one is ID and this chart type. So let me save it. You can see the output. So this doughnut chart is added. Okay. And the next one is radar. Before going to this radar, let me complete this polar area. Okay, this is the polar. And in this HTML side also, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, see, this polar chart also it's working fine. And the final two are the bubble chart and scatter chart are something different. And so let me complete this radar chart also. So this one, this radar chart. So you can see for the all the years how it's changed. 2019 and this 2018. So the value is completely changed, right? Okay, we have completed these five charts. The final two are something different, bubble chart and scatter. They're different in the sense the format of providing the data is somewhat different. So previous things all are we are just using this reusable format, okay? But this one somewhat different. Let me show you. So in this official site, you can see these chart types. So if you go to this bubble chart, so you can see this output and you have to pass the data in this format. Then only it will be work, right? So we can implement this one. Bubble chart and the canvas side it's like this. Here I'm going to create the separate function now. Render bubble chart. Oh, actually I'm missing. So let me take this all the content here. Let me take this data first. Data. And the second thing is type. Type is nothing but this bubble. And then ID. ID is our bubble chart. Okay, we have done in this option side nothing is required. Okay, so let me call this one also. So here we not required to wait for any API call. So I'm just using this hardcode data only. So let me call directly. See now, if I'm adding first, then we will know the difference. Okay, so it's moving. Okay, so this is fine. And the final one is scatter chart. So the scatter also somewhat same only. So here also we have to pass this data something like this. Anyway, we have to create the separate function for that also. Render scatter chart. First we can copy this data section. So the data is fine. Now let me move on this configuration side. The type is scatter, and in this option we have something. So anyway, let me use these things. And the final one is ID AC chart. Now let me move on the HTML side. See the output now. So this scatter chart is not loaded. Let me check. Yeah, I believe the function I'm not called in this onload. Yeah, it's done only. Okay, the ID I'm not copied properly. See now, it's working fine. Let me refresh it. Okay, see now everything is working fine. Okay, now we have completed this bubble chart, scatter, bar chart, pie chart, and then doughnut, polar chart, and also this data chart. So basically these charts are useful when you are implementing this dashboard kind of screens. So now we are in the end of the video. Still, if you have any doubts or clarification, please post in the comment box. And also please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching.